How ya doing, everybody, and welcome to NinjaToons, where the martial arts meets the creative arts. I'm Michael Voog, the Art Ninja, coming to you from my studio in the Simi Valley Town Center. You asked for her, and the Art Ninja's gonna draw her. Vanellope von Schweetz from Wreck-It Ralph for Walk-Thru Wednesday. You guys ready? Let's begin drawing Vanellope with the letter V. Now, as I mentioned, sketch lightly and loosely. When you're drawing the letter V, that's going to be Vanellope's chin. And now we're going to draw a circle for her head. Remember, draw lightly here. Now we're going to draw her center line and her eye line using C curves to determine the angle and the direction that she's looking. Next, we're going to draw in her ear. So the Schweetz in von Schweetz starts with the letter S, and that's what we're going to use to draw her ponytail. Using the S curve, big letter S for Schweetz. Next, we're going to draw in Vanellope's body, and it's a cone shape. Remember, we want to break these shapes down to the simplest shapes. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to draw this cone. And then we're going to use an S curve because this is going to be part of her skirt. Next, we're going to draw the hood from her sweater. Now we have her head in, her body, and her hood. The next step in the step-by-step worksheet is to draw in her arms and her legs. So using our straight line, we're going to draw in her front leg and her rear leg. And we're going to make this another cone shape because remember, her legs are cylindrical. And just for fun, I added another letter V for the Von right in here. This is going to be her hands going into the pocket of her sweater. Now we're going to add Vanellope's feet using a C curve and a C curve at the bottom. And let's do the same thing on her other boot. C curve and a straight line. So remember from last week's 2-minute tip, how to draw anything using 3 simple lines. Can you see how I'm already using these 3 lines just in creating Vanellope? We've already drawn a straight line, a C curve, and an S curve. Let's keep going. Okay, now what I'm going to do is draw Vanellope's eyes. Now she's looking all cute and innocent. So we have her gaze looking down. So I'm going to draw her eyes on the eye line using a C curve. Do the same thing on the other side. and she has a cute little nose. We're just gonna put right here. And the nose usually always lines up with your center line and your eye line. Now we're gonna draw a line across her head because she has bangs. See this C curve? Remember that exercise about drawing from one dot to another? And then we're gonna draw her bangs using an S curve. Nice, one smooth line. Draw the bangs on her other side. And here we're gonna draw an S curve for some of her hair that she has dangling. What you want to do is make sure what you draw on one side, you draw on the other for symmetry. Now as I go through my drawing, sometimes I'm going to darken some of the shapes or make adjustments. So here I'm drawing in Vanellope's hair tie. And then we're going to continue this S to give her thickness in her hair. And this next step is called drawing through. Notice when I start my letter S here at her ponytail, I'm gonna pretend like I'm drawing through, and it's gonna continue that S curve behind her ear. But I'm just not drawing that line. I'm guiding that S curve, but allowing myself to apply the pressure after her ear. Now we're going to draw the rim of the edge of Vanellope's sweater, because she has a short skirt here, and then she has her leggings down at the bottom. And then we're going to draw her other pocket. Notice how it makes this heart shape right here, and her shoulder comes out on the other side. Let's add some details. So the ends of her ponytail tie. Okay, and that's a triangle shape. We're going to add a little bit of hair coming down from her bangs using two C curves. And now we're going to put in her eyebrows. Now she does have thicker eyebrows, and we want to draw those eyebrows wrapping around her forehead. Do the same thing on the other side. It goes behind her bangs. And this is where you can start to make adjustments to create a likeness for your character. Let's give her a little smirk. And her bottom lip. And finally, we can get to her pupils. She has those really big eyes. Then we have the pupil inside the eye. We're gonna add her drawstrings. The pleats on her skirt using straight lines. And there's a second layer of pleats. Now it looks like she has a checkered skirt, but really what they are pleats. So to show that, we're just going to offset some of those lines so that it looks less like a checkered skirt. Now we're going to put in the stripes on her right leg. They're stripes going across like a candy cane. And on the other side, they're straight lines that go straight across. The last step in our sketching is going to be to add her hairlines. So, draw the contour of her hair. As it wraps around her skull. See how I'm using C curves right here? And the same thing with her ponytail. Now notice how I'm going to make these long C curves by sliding my hand across the paper. So that completes our sketch step. Now we're going to move on to our cleanup or our inking using our NinjaToons pencil. Now for Vanellope, she has a much thicker top line of her eye because of her eyelashes. So when I'm talking about line quality, this is what I'm going to address in a future 2-minute tip, is tapering your line. Can you make your line thin to thick and add weight or thickness to one side? So remember, during the cleanup step, you're essentially just tracing the lines that you've already put in. Let's bring Vanellope's cheek up a little bit since she's smiling. We're going to practice using our C curve for her eyes. Let's do that on both sides. Now she does have that cute little nose, so let's make sure that we accentuate that cute little nose. Give her eyebrows coming up and over her forehead. And you can even put in the highlights here in her pupils. So one of the things besides her cute nose is her smile. So watch how when I'm doing this here, I'm gonna create an S curve for her upper lip. Her teeth are gonna peek through just a little bit. And then we're gonna put in her bottom lip right there. Let's trace her outline. Okay, so see how I'm building up on my line here? Making sure it's, as I'm tracing it, I'm focusing in on line quality. Work on her bangs. So normally I'll start off with her eyes, and then I'll start to work around the face. Remember, if you're going to use ink or a marker, you make a mistake here, there's no eraser. Now, Vanellope also has some really cute ears. So, C curve. Now let's draw the back of her skull. This is going to be her hair coming around. You don't need to draw every little strand of hair, but by varying up the distances between her hair, it gives a little more realistic look. Okay, now let's put in her hair tie, or her bow. And being a lover of sweets, or Schweetz, she has these stripes across her hair tie, or her ribbon. Now for the S curve, remember we want to try to make this a nice, smooth line. So you're just tracing it. If you need to, build up on your line. But this is where practice, remember that creative kata that we were talking about? Kata. Just getting a sketchbook and trying to practice building up your line for a certain thickness. See, now I'm just tracing over those lines. But if I made a mistake with the blue pencil, I'm not going to trace that line. The other thing you'll notice is that typically when I'm doing my cleanup or sketching, you want to pull the pencil rather than push. So when I'm drawing here, see I'm pulling the pencil toward me. As a right-handed artist, it's different if you're drawing with your left hand, but I'm either pulling it or pulling down. You won't see me push the pencil this way because I'm gonna dig a hole right in the paper. So pull it toward you. Now during this cleanup step, if I see that there's an adjustment that I wanna make, then I'll go and do that. Okay, now let's put in her skirt. Okay, so here I'm trying to draw each individual pleat just to give that appearance that it's a pleat and not plaid. Vanellope von Schweetz instead of Schweetz. So again, slide your hand across the paper versus little sketches. See that? Nice. And this is all part of practice, pencil control. She has her leggings going into her boots. And the last thing we'll do is put on her candy stripes. If you want to embellish the drawing with some seams, like maybe in her sweater, you can draw in a center line there, center line on the side, like that. And there you have Miss Vanellope von Schweetz. And that's our Walk-Thru Wednesday of how to draw Vanellope von Schweetz. If you liked this video and enjoyed it, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe to our channel by hitting the subscribe button, and then don't forget to leave a comment in the section below. Let us know what you thought, and what character would you like us to draw next. Hope you're having a great week, everybody, and we'll see you in the next video. Ooh, I want to wreck it. Have you ever not liked your drawing and said this? I want to wreck it. Don't get frustrated. Just sketch, not carve.